Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Looks like we're actually live. How is everyone tonight? Everyone and anyone. Anyone? Bueller. Hey, Michelle, Blacktree, Jordan, Geeky Gardens, how is everyone? I'm sick. How am I sick? Your back is sunburnt. That's not good. Do you have any aloe? Put some aloe on it. That'll help. And if you don't want to get sunburn in the future, cocoa oil is an excellent protectant against sunburn, believe it or not. And then you can even add a little bit of zinc oxide to that instead of using SPF, which actually has a lot of negative effects on your living body system. I'm sorry to hear you got a sunburn. That's never fun. You're finally getting some rain, Geeky. Good for you. We're still waiting for rain here. Hey, Chris. I see I got some missed calls from you, man. I've been just running like crazy the last forever, it seems like, but at least the last few days. I will get in touch with you soon. We'll catch up. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you sooner. Good, your sister brought you some. That's good. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain tonight. Well, actually, we're supposed to get rain this afternoon and tomorrow, Geeky, but I don't know if we're actually going to get it. I keep looking at the radar map, and it does not look promising. But hey, what are you going to do? All we can do is wait. I don't know any good rain dances. If you know any good rain dances, send me a link. Got rained out. How are you guys on rain this year? Are you getting enough rain? Like, we haven't had rain in, like, I want to say like 2.5 or 3 weeks. At least 2. And this time of year it dries out fast. YTFP, what's going on, Chris? That's alright, we'll throw you the honey pot. You can do a honey pot shot. So what's everybody been up to? Anything exciting? How's things growing down there, Geeky? I don't even know. I haven't even had a chance to check on my subscriptions. I don't even know if you've put up any new videos. I know Chris put up a new hog video, and I haven't had a chance to get back and check that out yet either. 2.5 inches. Nice. Nice. Chris Jarvis, what's going on, dude? How you doing today? Drought then 7 inches. Ain't that the way? Yeah, if we could get like 2 solid inches of rain, that would help a lot. I'd like to see 3 steady over like a 2 or 3 day period. But I'll even take a 1/2 inch at this point. Anything would be good. Rain tanks are full. Nice. Yeah, I noticed the ram pump spring is not overflowing as much when I was down there the other day, so we're not in deficit, but we're definitely not in surplus anymore. We were in heavy surplus a month ago. Hubby brought home a kitten. Oh boy. Oh, that's awesome, Michelle. I miss my kitty cats. I remember when they were little kittens. They were so sweet. Food poisoning is all you need to know. That's not good, Chris. I think I saw in the chat before you were saying something about McDonald's, and all I can say is, that'll do it. Tastes great going in, but not coming back up. Well, I hope you're feeling better. Jordan was all over that. Well, I'm not going to give him a hard time about it. I'm just going to remind him. I'm not here to lecture anybody. How's things growing down there, Chris and Geeky? I know you guys are down south. And Michelle, did you get any stuff in your garden yet? I know you shared a picture the other day. I have yet to get anything planted here also. Been trying to get irrigation and all the other peripheral parts together, and then I kind of been hoping for a shot of rain. Sorry, I'm picking at my eyes here. I spent about 6 hours weed eating, well, maybe 5 hours weed eating today. So I got all sorts of junk in my eyes. Still not yet this weekend. Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Hopefully, well, I guess we're almost to the weekend, so yeah, I guess if we get the rain that I'm hoping for tomorrow, I won't be able to plant anything in that, so it'll be the weekend before I get anything in. I gotta go back and do some final tilling and plant, and then I gotta get out there with foliar drenches and give things that trigger boosts, and then I'll have to irrigate. I think even if we get rain, I'll have to irrigate at this point, so that may govern how I plant things a little bit. I'll have to plant in blocks that I can handle with specified irrigation passes, so I can get good soakings for everything. Everything's going crazy, and so far not many pests. That's awesome. I'm eating fresh peppers already. You're so lucky, Vicky. I say you're lucky, but I know you're living in the 90s most of the time and super humid, so that's a bit much. You're getting squash, potato, cabbage, and broccoli off the garden already, Chris. Man, you guys have such an early season down south. Michelle, my hot rod mower is good so far. That's me knocking on wood. Yeah, I got the all the suction intake stuff set up on a foliar irrigation pump, so I'm stoked about that. So we're basically ready to irrigate, which means we're basically ready to plant. So good. Bomber! What's going on, Bomber? How you doing? Fresh lettuce and chives upstairs. Man, you're way north of me. Oof, I feel like I'm way behind now. Hurricane season, uh-oh. Oh, he's impressed with my setup? Awesome. Yeah, I built a lot of irrigation type stuff over the years. I should go back and do a video on all the different stuff I've done. I built all kinds of irrigation pumps. I just love pumping water and playing with water. I grew up as a kid. My parents or my family had a family farm up in the Catskills. It's mostly a tree farm, but there were springs all over the farm. And my dad turned me loose with some sap hose, and I used to make all kinds of springs and fountains and solar hot water heaters. I would spend whole days up on that mountain just playing with spring water and guiding it and directing it and digging springs out. So down here where there aren't as many springs, I had to resort to pumps. And sort of gave myself a PhD in pumps. Yeah, Bomber, we've been missing you, and then yeah, we missed you yesterday in the portal. We were all jonesing for some paranormal portal with 2 days off. I took advantage of the time and got a bunch of stuff done here, but I was definitely missing it. The wiggly straw sprinklers that whack you in the head. I use mostly Rainbird guns here, YTFP. They're pretty nice, and if I ever have the money and time to get my big 2-inch irrigation pump out, I'll put my big Rainbird guns back out, and that thing hammers some water. That thing will do between 7,000 and 9,000 gallons an hour, so that thing really moves a lot of water. I miss having that when we get these drought stretches. I'm refraining myself. Oh, Chris. Playing outside and researching. Awesome, Bomber. Yeah, the weather finally shifted for us, huh? We went from like almost wintry to like summery, like inside of a week. What kind of temps are you getting up there? You're probably going to tell me in Celsius, and I'm going to have to figure out in Fahrenheit what that is. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can dig up some good pictures. I don't know how many pictures I have of stuff. I know we have pictures of the sap house, and we have pictures of the old Delhi farm up there. And some of them I've converted over to digital, but I have to go back through albums and get out a scanner, and it just takes hours and hours and hours to convert it. But I want to do that before something happens to the physical hard copies and they get messed up. But I'll try and maybe, well, I don't know if I'll get to it over the summer, but maybe over the winter I'll do a video of some of the different stuff I've done. Or maybe I'll slap something together here if I get a day where I can do it. Almost messed up putting off irrigating. Yeah, it's always such a trick, huh, Chris, to like figure out whether it's going to rain or not, whether you should irrigate. I find if I irrigate, then it pours. If I don't irrigate, then it stays a drought. I'm sure you found that too. So hot here, I would love to dive on a slip. Yeah, YTFP, yeah. I wouldn't mind jumping on a slip and slide myself. The watering every evening. Garden is small enough to do by hand. Yeah, but boy, it takes a lot of time doing it by hand, huh, Geeky? Been great. Swimming in the river is my favorite. It's been nice. Oh man, I wish I had time to go swimming in the river. I did take a dip in the Ram Reservoir pool tonight when I got home just to get the weed eater and sweat grunge off me. That felt really good. That was super refreshing. Outside with my handheld hummingbird feeder and I had 5 in my arm. Chris, if you have a video camera, you gotta get some video of that. Those hummingbirds are so cool. I've had them come up and like go after flowers right in front of me. I really love watching those guys. Yeah, you're having a heat wave. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it went super hot. I wasn't quite ready for 85, 90 either myself here, Bomber. Yeah, I know the conversion formula, but to do that in my head with a number, my head math is horrible. I can figure things out on paper and in formulas and write it into code, but if I have to do it fast on the fly, I usually screw it up. But you're right. Celsius to Fahrenheit is Celsius times 9 divided by 5 plus 32. You remember because of Dolly Parton? You gotta tell us that story. Same there, it's miserable. Where are you again, Chris Jarvis? I can't remember where you're at. Is it California? Is that right? Takes me an hour to set mine up, Geeky. And the pump's giving trouble. Oh, there's nothing worse than having pump trouble. That's why I just spent so much time on that irrigation foliar setup, because I usually cob job it together, and I decided this year I wasn't going to put myself through that. I had a little bit of extra money left from that stimulus check, and so I decided to invest in saving myself time later in the season. Weatherman lied. He always lies. One of the only be accountable for what you say. 30 to 35 C. Oh yeah, that's hot. That's hot. That's like up in the 90s, right? Man, wow. Wish it would snow for a day. I'm not wishing that here. I'm glad to have the summer heat, but I'm having trouble adjusting so fast. Snow is bad. Okay. I'm going to go with Chris on that one. That's a 4-letter word in my book, snow. Bell Prepper, what's going on, dude? How are you? 5 days of 90 last week. That's not too bad for Florida, though, huh, Geeky? Yeah, it takes only a minute to get in the river and getting out's the problem. I couldn't agree more. I never wanted. I used to, like, my brother and I used to go up to the river in the Catskills, the east branch of the Delaware, and we'd, like, fish and swim. We'd spend the whole afternoon up there, and I never wanted to go back home to eat dinner until I was starving hungry. I don't know. Tons of formulas, none are easy in the head, that's true. Dolly Parton 9 to 5. Ah, okay, I get it. That makes sense. I was trying to figure out, hey, you got that out of Dolly Parton. Yeah, Bomber loves snow. She's like totally into snow, but maybe that's a Canadian thing, eh? Go for a snow rip, eh, bud? All pruned up from the river, yeah. You hate anything above 70s. 70s is nice, but I like the summer heat, actually. I really enjoy it. You know, if it's 90, humid, and sunny and I'm working in it, then I'm kind of miserable. But if I can just lay in the sun for a bit, that I don't mind. And I don't really have the time anymore, but I used to love laying in the sun and then jump in the river, or lay in the sun and jump in the river. That's a great cycle. But I never get time for that these days. I started the flood last year, but the pump's new. Sucking air. Oh no, that's not good. Sucking air on the pump intake or on the carb. I mean, imagine you need pump intake. You got a hole or a thread leak or something somewhere, Chris? Summer came way early this year. Shouldn't see 90 till end of June. Yeah, we shouldn't necessarily be touching upper 80s already either. You know, we'd be getting maybe a few of those and then more in the 75, 80 range. But this year's just been strangest weather anyway. Some of your lettuce is already bolting. Yeah, that's the other problem with the heat. Yeah, I agree, Bomber. I wish I could remember that equation too. And it's kind of in my head, but it's just so much easier to go to Google and just go number C to F, and it gives me a number right back. Google's my new crutch. You get dizzy from changing body temp back and forth? Yeah, the heat can get to you for sure. In the well case, oh, that's no good. That's no good. You're pulling suction from the well, Chris? You must have a pretty close water table there, huh? You can't swim, Michelle? You never learned, or you don't like being around water? Do you have a bad experience or something? Yes, Jordan. Math is evil. Torture even for some of us. I just have to have the right motivation. If I want to figure out how to make a project work, then I'll do math. But I don't enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge of it, but not the math itself. Probably going to get sick from AC. Oh yeah, the AC is so bad for you. You're better off to just adjust to the temperatures. Plus AC is so expensive, man. Like that really racks the power bill up. Especially like the old AC units I used to have were just horrible efficiency. No, we're more common up here, but if I say snow around, some people I get grumbled and sometimes yelled at. It's like saying the C word. It's a Campbell. Yeah, it's all perspective, huh, Bomber? Yeah, to me, it's a 4-letter word here. I call it the S word. Hitting 90s there. Normal temps this time of year. Anything over 35. Hot below 0 equals cold. Quit doing math in my head when they invented the TI-30 calculator. The Texas Instruments 30. Are those geeky? I totally remember those. Yeah, those are some of the sweetest calculators. That Texas Instruments line that came out late 80s or early 90s. I know they had some before that, but they were crazy expensive. But yeah, don't want to. Almost drowned twice, not chancing at a third time. Understandable. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I love the water. I love being in the water and swimming and all, but I'm just fortunate I didn't have bad experiences like that, because that would have ruined it for me too. Drinking a Jack and coffee as in Jack Daniels, Chris? Woo! Going in hot, huh? Yeah, what about wading, Michelle? Like, some of the streams we have around here are nice for wading. Nice rocky bottom. You can wear like an old pair of sneakers so you don't like stub your toe or slip and fall on your butt. And they're great for wading. Plus it's fun to watch the minnows and the trout and the frogs and all the cool little aquatic creatures. Water's at 10 foot. Got it well at 20, 35, and 45. Wow, that's nice. Well, at least you only got to pull up a little bit of line to get at it, huh? The harder part's probably taking that well casing back off. Up to the knees. Yeah, you got to be careful because you don't want to get swiped if you can't swim. Yeah. Stocked up on liquor today. That's funny. I usually don't drink much, but I bought my third 12-pack in the last month. So I'll probably have a beer or two after the live stream. Let's see, Michelle, that makes me sad. I heard a story recently about an Arkansas lady that drowned in her car in a flood because it was rising and she couldn't swim and was too scared to get out. Yeah, that makes me sad when I see people that can't swim. That's I feel like they're missing out on something that's so cool. Gemini Moon, what's going on, Gem? Good to see you in here. How's things? Never been swimming on purpose, Chris? You gotta try it on purpose. It's a lot more fun on purpose. Sometimes I envy swimmers, but I can't see all those things from the safety of the edge. Oh, you can see all those things from the safety of the edge. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, my mom's an avid swimmer. She was a competitive swimmer in her 40s, actually. She was kicking butt in the Masters program, which is like a competitive athletes thing. Yeah, it does feel good to swim. That cool water against your body and the water flowing against your skin. It's kind of like silky almost. Yeah, I love it. Anything over 26 is too hot. 26 degrees is too hot for me. So basically all summer is disgusting. Make the best of it, go on my river and hang out in the forest. Yeah, and the forest is nice and cool too. Jem, you like the heat too. Another hot weather person. Yeah, I can't imagine the panic of that either, Michelle. That had to be really scary. I mean, even if you can swim in a flood like that, it's not a good idea to get out because the chances are that water's just going to bash you against something. I've been in some scary, sketchy waters before. I've been bashed against boulders in fast-running streams before, and that it hurts, it bruises you, and it reminds you just how powerful nature is. Yeah, I could see that would make you cry. What's the 70s in Canadian? 70s would be, hey, YTFP, pull out that formula, buddy. I'll pull it up quick. 70s in Canadian, so 70 Fahrenheit to C would be, it'd be 21 degrees, Bomber. 21 C. Went to the beach with no mask. Oh, the beach. I haven't been to the beach in a long time, Jim. Awesome. Grandpa taught me to swim at age 6, took me to the sandbar in the Gulf of Mexico at low tide and left me. Had to learn to swim to get back to shore before the tide came in. That's an excellent lesson. Risky, but excellent. I learned with a life jacket, wearing a life jacket and learning to swim with a life jacket on. I looked like such a dork as a little kid with a life jacket swimming. Lake Huron, I'll bet that's ice cold. I'll bet that's ice cold. Ruh-roh. Never drowned, so must be able to swim. Boat sinks and I'm on the bank like magic. That reminds me of a Bugs Bunny cartoon or Warner Brothers or one of those. Not to cool you off. I haven't been swimming in 25 years. Water gives life and takes it. That's true. And so does fire, Michelle. All in nature's powerful forces give and take life. All just depends on how you use it. You ever go to the pool and get, I think you're in a wheelchair, right, Chris? Have you ever get lowered in so you can just get in and move around and cool off or something like that? Wish it was always just mild weather where I live. Maybe some rain. Yeah, I can understand that. But then, that's like the sweet and sour sauce thing. You'd never have the sweet without the sour. You'd never have the sour without the sweet. Got to take the good with the bad, I guess. I only wear a mask in the grocery store, to be honest. I really feel for those who have to wear their mask more than 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. I have friends that have to wear their mask all day, and man, they got to be getting heat rash, like... I wear it when I go in the store. I try to be respectful of other people's health. But I'm sick of wearing a mask too. And it makes my beard all hot and sweaty, and then I'm scratching and itching, and I learned to swim with a donut floaty. That's worse. No, that's not worse. Also, I had an older brother who could swim really well, and he was always making fun of me about wearing my life jacket. And my mom would make me wear it, so that made me feel like more of a dork. Masks are horrible. I still would have to wear one. Shot a hole in the boat duck hunting. Look, did he learn about gun safety with that too? Oh, you can walk, Chris. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. I just know you're like partially disabled, and I don't know that much about it. Or maybe I just don't remember that much about it. I apologize. Yeah, that's crazy, Chris. Shot a hole in the boat. I'd have been pissed about the hole in the boat. and the consequent shotgun that got wet in the water too. Although it's probably his, huh? Choice of profession. That's true, Michelle. Just like to feel comfortable, so you wouldn't mind no sweet or sour. Fair enough. Can also swim like a fish. The doctors won't let you. Boy, swimming is one of the best like therapeutic exercises. Low shock, low impact. I'm surprised. I just wanted to catch him. It was my boat. Yeah, exactly. I'd have been ticked about the boat. It's good to wear a mask. It's not good to wear a mask. Causes too many problems. Only the sick people should be wearing them. Well, the mask is really to protect, yeah, you're right, to protect people from getting it. And even that, it's limited effectiveness. I just stayed home last week a few weeks ago, wear a bandana. Yeah, I rarely go to the store myself, and I rarely go to the store in general. But I've actually been to the store more frequently since this thing than before, but that's due to other life circumstances. Not a strong swimmer, but could float and spend all day at the river. Wish I had a WQ, stronger swimmer. Water's in my chin. Me no likey. Yeah, I'm not a super strong swimmer, but I can swim for next to forever, and I can float well despite my low body fat index. And you guys are getting ahead of me in the chat. Men with beards wearing masks like 70s women's underwear commercials. No offense. Yeah, every time I put that mask on, I think this is just gotta look weird to everybody. Still get nervous going to the liquor store wearing a mask. So, firearm malfunction. Ah, okay. And that's why we have the rule. The gun is always loaded, never pointed at anything you don't intend to kill. Me too. I don't actually wear a mask. I wear bandanas. I finally just got a mask like 2 weeks ago just because I was sick of stuffing towels around my face, and I was sick of trying to keep it staying on. The mask is easy, but only thing that limits me is other people. Fair enough. And that's the right mentality too, Chris. Bandanas. Are you wearing badasses, Bomber? Boat was going 25 feet deep. Oh, you must have been ticked. Wearing bananas. Yeah, I'm not touching that one. A sour swimmer in the Navy for a while. I can float while sleeping if you have to. Oh, yes. We did that in our survival camp course for kids a few years back. Actually, that was 2009 or 2010. We did a survival camp course for a bunch of kids, including my kids, and we drown-proofed everyone. And man, what a valuable tool to have. Uh-oh, the fruit roll-up mask. Here we go. Nessie's not here. And I think I'll just refrain from commenting further on that. I'll save it for the portal. It's true, y'all. You'll never be able to unseen it. A paper towel as a mask once. Nice. Yeah, I was wearing a towel that, you know, like it was a clean towel, but it had some like stains that would come off. It was the only thing I had I could take with me, and people were giving me the dirtiest looks, and I'm like, what? I'm wearing something over my face. What do you want? Like, mask won't protect us much. A little, as per my doctor, but what does it is protects us from others from us. Yeah, exactly. It stops your cough droplets and that kind of stuff. Theoretically, I mean, you know, the virus can still get through that, but yeah, it greatly reduces other people's risk of exposure. And, you know, I mean, that's common courtesy, I think, for any kind of sickness. Like, I can't stand the people that, you know, they get really sick and then they come over and, like, hang out with you before they're, like, past the contagious point of a cold or something. Like, why would you do that? Boat cost you your whole crop that year. It was 14. Yep. Didn't have a way to get another boat and a buoy and winch it out or something, huh? That sucks, Chris. I feel like that won't be very breathable. Yeah, sometimes I know when to keep my mouth shut, Chris. Not always. Sometimes I stick my foot in my mouth or my tongue out and bite it off. Nessie won't be on the portal chat tonight. She's working. Oh, good. I can make fun of her so she'll have a good laugh when she goes back later. Well, because if with the alleged 14-day gestation period, you could have it theoretically and not know you have it and be contagious. But I'm with you, Jem. You know, I'm with you. But it's a good precaution to take. Hopefully we'll get out of this thing fairly soon, but I don't know. Never bought another one. He's a charter captain now. The irony of that. The irony of that. The weirder thing is that you wear the mask the farther away people stand. Yeah, I know. I forgot to go in with a mask in one or two places where it was like long social distance, and I got the dirtiest looks from people. They looked at me like I just murdered a kid. Like, yeah, exactly, Bomber. Because most people don't show symptoms for, I think it's up to 14 days, which is the problem. That's part of why this is so contagious, because you don't know you have it, and you're walking around spreading it. Chris, it'll smell good if you don't snot on it. You can eat it. Nessie went back to work. You want to go back to work too, huh, Jim? Sick of sitting home? Yeah, it sounds like a fun vacation, but it does get old, and the bills, of course, don't stop coming. I'm glad I don't have like a mortgage and, you know, all kinds of pressure like that. But, you know, part of the reason I built the lifestyle I did is because I didn't want to have to worry about stuff like that, because so many times I've had jobs like dry up on me or, you know, gone through hard periods, and man, there's nothing worse than having a whole bunch of bills that and losing everything you work for. That's just so frustrating. Go to the store to pay for a sound maker. Well, all you got to do is cough a little bit. Me being a smoker, I get a little bit of a cough once in a while, and I like hold in a cough when I go in the store because I don't want people to freak out. Little or no symptoms, yeah, or they're unrecognizable symptoms. Yep. If your immune system is strong, you won't get it. I traveled in an airplane with many foreigners and never get sick. Immune system very strong. I did not wear a mask anywhere. Yeah, Jem, that is so true. Build immunity. All those trace minerals got to be there. Good probiotics, good foods, good wise interaction with the sun, exposure to good vitamin D. There's so many pieces to that, but you're right. You know, a healthy immune system is so critical. And you know, I'm taking an extra selenium supplement every day because that's a huge factor in immunity. You know, I think this bottle cost me $10. It's 180 capsules, so that's 6 months of immune boosting. I take vitamin C every day, and I take astragalus root. I never get this pronunciation right. But I use those every day to build immunity or to hold immunity. And I don't think I've had a cold. I might have had like one cold in maybe 10 years. Get it? I think you're spreading articles, Jordan. That's great, Michelle. Oh, it's my idea for both of them. Oh God, Chris. You don't have it, you can't pass it on. Immune system strong, or I would not have traveled. Yeah. Michelle is on a roll tonight. Yeah, most people don't have strong immune systems. True, too. Most of your cases have been asymptomatic. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, and because it is, people don't recognize that they have had it or have had it, trying to say. Yeah, immune system needs exercise. Yeah, we need our daily requirement of dirt and filth. Yes, it's amazing how much of a factor of healthy food that actually is. You're supposed to be eating the microbes on the plants. That's why eating raw stuff, if it's grown healthily and not irrigated with E. coli or sprayed with chemicals, really has a tremendous boost on the immune system. And they say about 80% of our immune system is in our gut system. So if you keep good probiotics and good gut health, that helps tremendously also. But again, that's, trace minerals. There's so many other little pieces that tie into that. Not always true. The system can overcome and become detrimental. Oh yeah, no, it has to be regulated, and actually that's where the mushrooms come. Chaga is really good, and shiitake and lion's mane are excellent for regulating the immune system. It'll boost it if it needs boosting, but it'll prevent it from over-regulating, and then that's when your immune system can actually start attacking you. And that's no good either. Let's see. Become detrimental. That happened during the Spanish flu to some. Yeah, and there's other chemical toxin effects that are happening in the environment too. They're actually affecting our bone mineral matrix. And I'm not going to go deep into that right now because I don't want to go into controversial, sensitive topics, as YouTube would put it. Yeah, take mushrooms. Yeah, and you can take them in capsules. I'm not a fan of eating mushrooms really. They don't appeal to me. I keep trying them, hoping I'll like them, but I just don't. But I do take a capsule. In fact, this one is great for memory and nerve support, but it also for immunity. This is lion's mane. So I take one of those every day too. Sick all the time. Seriously, don't think I would notice if I got it. Yeah. I'm not convinced of a lot of things. I hear where you're coming from, Michelle, but at the same time, I think the best thing we can do is err on the side of caution rather than risk infecting someone else. Because there are people that have compromised immune systems, like Bomber here, and if they get exposed to that, it could literally kill them. And so do you want someone's death on your heart? And that's kind of what it comes back to. And it's easy to forget that in the scheme of all the craziness that we have going on surrounding this, but we don't we don't want to kill anybody or put them in the hospital. Yeah, Bomber loves mushrooms. I have yet to eat mushrooms that I really like. Maybe someday. I'm hoping my taste buds will come around to them someday, so I could actually just enjoy them with food. But so far, no. Doc, so you barely have one. Yeah, Jem. Yeah, and she is being careful. I know she is. Less you say about issues on a public forum, the better off you are. Yep. Well, that's why I touched on those few things, but I'm not going deep into anything. If you people want to know more about some of that bone mineral matrix stuff, I have an unlisted video I can share with you that you can check out. Unfortunately. Yeah, I really think mushrooms might help regulate that for you too, Bomber. Especially the shiitake and the chaga. You might be able to find chaga around you if you have birch trees around you. But of course, you'd have to make sure to identify them correctly. Respiratory health tincture for mushrooms. I get bronchitis sometimes. Okay, there's also something from Paul Stamets called My Community, which is like 7 or 14 different mushroom strains in a tincture, and you can just take a couple of drops a day to boost immunity and also regulate immunity so it's not overstimulated. So that's an excellent one too. Yeah, I'm with you, Jordan. I don't like eating them, but I will take a supplement because I know what they do. And I got to say, with the lion's mane, it's amazing what that does for mental clarity and mind focus, and like total nervous system health. Yeah, I hear you, Michelle. I do too, and I don't really trust any of the media outlets necessarily. So there's that. Stuffed mushrooms. See, I wish I could get into them. Fresh picked out in the forest. Portobellos. Tried to grow them from spores, but that experiment failed. Well, maybe try again, Geeky. Stuffed mushrooms are really good. I've tried the portobellos. I never liked those either. I used to work with a caterer, and we had some gourmet portobellos. I forget what they were stuffed with, but they were, I mean, if you were ever going to have a mushroom that tasted good, that should be it. And I tried them, and I just don't like the mushroom flavor. Stay away from mushrooms. Cancerous can all supposed to go away with cooking, but I just don't trust them anymore. From store mushrooms. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but this, the Fungi Perfecti, Paul Stamets products in supplements are, he's the leading worldwide researcher. He's actually done a tremendous amount of research for the Department of Defense as far as using mushrooms against bioweapons. So he's really well studied. And all the stuff he produces is of the highest quality. Really excellent dude. After the soup poison, my stomach is giving enough shout-outs. Yeah, that's not the kind of shout-out you want. I think I'd be a goner if I got it because I got really bad bronchitis. Every couple of years I get asthmatic. This happens just starting with a cold and dying for like 2 months. Yeah, you got to work on immune system, Jordan, for sure. And up on steroids. Got to get some good exposure to sunlight too. That'll help tremendously. It's amazing what that does for immune health. Haven't seen any birch trees in the area. We only have a couple here on the farm, and I've checked them very closely. No chaga, and I don't have time to go out deep into the woods looking for chaga. Unfortunately, we can order chaga online too, and it works just as good. Yeah, I love the birch trees too. They're beautiful, and excellent firewood, and just a million reasons I love them. Also have an autoimmune condition. Blood platelets get low. We'll have to talk more about that. Remind me to show you the somatoscope blood. Just remind me to show you the blood video. I'll put it that way. I won't make you try to remember a bunch of crazy terms. Bomber, they grow more in Northern Ontario. Yeah, they tend to be more in mountainous terrains. Thanks, Bell Pepper. Yeah, big hugs to all you have to be careful and have to be concerned about your immune system. I'm very grateful and thankful that I have my health too, Michelle. Yeah, I see so many chronically ill people. It encourages me to take care of myself and to try to help them get their health better. And sometimes I make mistakes, but I hope I'm doing more good than harm. Paul's products are good. I've been following him for decades. The button mushrooms and portobello are the ones to be aware of. Carcinogenic if uncooked. Yes. And many of the wild plant foods and mushrooms all have a specific way they need to be processed. For instance, you can use acorns from the oak tree to make a flour that is an awesome flour for cooking with and for making cookies with. But it takes like 3 or 4 days of leaching the acorns in water and pouring off and refreshing the water and leaching to get the tannins out. If you were to eat them just regular straight, those tannins would make you really, really sick. So that's just an example of like how you have to be able to process that stuff correctly. And that goes for pretty much anything wild forage. Steroids every few days if my asthma is triggered. Try to push it as long as possible. Sometimes I can go a few weeks without. Wow. Ugh. Yeah, that's no good. Deep breathing exercises help a lot. Cold shock therapy is excellent for that and also stimulates your immune system. It also opens up the NRF2 pathway. Check out Dr. Rhonda Patrick, cold shock therapy, and also check out her videos on sauna. Both of those are excellent. And also there's a guy named Wim Hof who's a super athlete. Check out his stuff. They've done some really cool tests on him. He's an amazing dude. A lot of cherry birch up where we used to camp. Nice. That's beautiful stuff. Yeah, exactly. Oxygen. And oxygen alkalizes the blood, and that makes a huge difference in all sorts of stuff. Yeah, same here. Hard to see, especially loved ones. Oh, big hugs. Do you eat raw farm? Just plants, leaves, herbs, and trees? I do eat some wild forage stuff, not as much as I'd like to. I just rarely have time to go out and forage it and process it. So I tend to eat, honestly, not the best food, but I try to supplement with good nutrition. As soon as my farm starts producing, I make sure to eat some of that stuff every day because that's a whole nother level up and above even regular organic food. I got all the trace minerals and biology in my stuff, and I can feel the energy and health and vitality difference within hours. And the next day, it's amazing. The energy is amazing. So like when I go from my crappy diet and I actually start eating from my farm, it totally changes my energy dramatically. Cold process my acorns so the starch is not cooked the old Indian way. Okay, interesting. That's awesome you know about that, YTFP. We lose our M-key? MC? No, I'm here. Or am I down? Am I not getting through? Is my stream still up? Network issues again. Slight buffer. It came back. Okay, good. Except for chickens, you can roast them. Too much oxygen can also create free radicals. Yeah, it's a balance. But it's hard to get too much oxygen by breathing. Your body, tends to regulate that. And those free radicals can be mopped up with good antioxidants. And that's why antioxidants are so important. Stuff like blueberries and any of the real bright or dark colored berries and fruits are usually pretty high in antioxidants. Cacao, raw cacao powder, super high in antioxidants. Trying to think. Oh, the olive leaf. Olive leaf powder is super high in antioxidants. That's an excellent immune system booster. Like, I could literally probably go on for an hour about the benefits of olive leaf. That is a really powerful tool. And it's cheap, man. You can go like to Mountain Rose Herbs for like $9 a pound. You can buy all the olive leaf you could ever want. and you'll have to either eat it like with food or something, and I should warn you, it's really bitter, or put it in capsules. You can get a capsule maker, make your own capsules. But even if you buy the capsules, they're not that expensive online. Yeah, I know. You were saying you do the Wim Hof cold water conditioning. Yeah, and can handle fairly cold water. Yep, every shower in cold water. Yep, I go down to the spring and cold shock in the spring. I do it in the pool in the fall and the spring when it's when the pool water is colder. When it starts to warm up in the summer, it's not as effective. But then sometimes I'll go down by the ram pump where the water's coming out of the spring at 38, 40 degrees and shocking that. Yeah, that gets you breathing right. You got to work up to it, Chris. You got to work up to it. You can do it in little bits, and really, believe it or not, that'll help your immunity and your health tremendously, tremendously. Mountain Rose is the bomb. Yes, it is. They really have the high quality products too. All right, sounds good, Chris. We'll get in touch in the next day or two for sure. I'm sorry to get back to you sooner. Thanks for coming into the live stream. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Yeah, you can't just expect to be comfortable with it. It's a conditioning thing. Start by turning your hot water down a titch and stay in the water until it's comfortable. Yes, exactly. Bombers onto it. Yeah. Work your way into it. And also remember, in the scheme of this, that your skin is an organism. In fact, it's one of the biggest organisms in your body. And that hot and cold shocking makes it expand and contract. That's one of the best things you can do for skin health, in addition to the sunlight exposure for vitamin D. So those are just a few tools. Raid your friend's olive tree again. Yeah. Getting low on the last batch of leaves. Do you take those just as leaves, Geeky, or do you like grind them in a grinder or something and powder them? How do you take them? Like summertime, sometimes I'll just eat them right off the olive tree. But they're so bitter. Then turn the heat down again, stay in the water till you're comfortable again. Each time you go down a little further. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be overheated and then jump into overly cold water. Yeah, there's a balance. I mean, don't go do anything stupid, I guess I would say. If you feel like that water, if you feel like you're overheated and you're going to go jump in shocking cold water, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should, put your legs in and let your body adjust a bit before you get all the way in, rather than shock. How long do I stand in the coldest water? I try to go as long as I can in 38 or 40 degree spring water. That's not easy. Usually I can go somewhere between a minute and 5 minutes. It is at that day, whether I can mentally make myself stay in it. But up to 5 minutes, and that's, boy, you come out a whole that. Like, if you were angry or frustrated or upset about it, boy, you come out like you forgot all about that crap. I keep telling her that, Chris. She needs her own show. As you go down, I guess I don't understand the question, Jordan. Usually brew them into tea or sprinkle powdered ones on foods. Okay, yeah, that's a great way to do it. I'm trying to behave myself over here, Michelle. Yeah, sure, as I go down. Yeah, exactly. Eventually you'll be able to do it in the shower and turn it down to cold shock and cold shock yourself. But yeah, work your way up to it. Yeah, I love it too. It's made a huge difference. And, again, I'll say, like, I'm not a fan of cold. Like, I don't like the cold at all. Like, winter comes and I'm like, I don't like it at all. But that cold shock thing is an awesome, powerful tool for immunity, for health, for happiness. And really check out Dr. Rhonda Patrick on that. It's good stuff. Yeah, she walks barefoot in the snow. She got a little Canadian in her, eh? Out for a rip there, bud. You know more than you let on, Bomber. Yes, improves the mitochondria as well, according to some. Yes, exactly. And actually, speaking of mitochondria, so does magnesium oil, because mitochondria use a tremendous amount of magnesium for energy production. For those who don't know, mitochondria in the cell is the energy producer of the cell. So if you can have a positive effect on that, you can have a tremendous effect on the cells in your body and obviously your health as a result. 9 people in chat and 12 likes. I love it. I do too, Jen. That's awesome. You just got that, Jordan? Come on, you got a dirtier mind than that. Oh yeah, that's a great way to ground in the winter. I can't bring myself to walk barefoot in the snow though. I don't even want to look at snow. Spring stays 72 year round. Wow. Man, that's like bath water almost. Yeah, she is super intelligent, Chris. Yeah, hoser. I'm going to push you on the stage and hand you a mic. There you go, Michelle. Go do some stand-up. Yeah, 72 is a perfect wing. That's a nice temp. In rare form. Jordan. Ah, not Jordan. Thank you on that. Sorry for the mispronunciation. I think I probably mispronounced that about 8,000 times. Jordan. Got it. I'll try and correct myself. Jord. There you go. Well, you know, like in the paranormal portal chat, everybody calls you JB, and it took me the longest time to figure out who JB was. I'm a little dense sometimes. I've been known to be dense. For Michelle, thank you for the comic relief. Jordy, there you go. No, I'll just twist her name up more if I do that. Not allowed to get that excited. A 4 Seasons kind of gal. Yeah, I'm with you, Belle. Jordy, I vote for that. Well, you know, YTFP, I have to try to behave myself, because you get me going on a streak of kidding around, I can get pretty out of hand pretty quick. And out of hand's fine, but I don't want to offend anyone. Mo Homesteading, what's going on? That's alright, Mo. Glad you made it in for the end. We're only here for another 2 minutes, and then we're headed over to Paranormal Portal. But I'm glad you made it in. How's life down there? For those who don't know, Mo Homesteading has a YouTube channel also. She does some awesome live streams and videos. Check her out as well. Bell Prepper does some awesome stuff. Geeky Gardens has an awesome gardening channel. Check his stuff out. He's in Central Florida. Chris at Homesteading the Hard Way. He's doing some awesome videos, especially on hogs and tractors. Very practical dude. And I hope I didn't miss anybody else, but anybody who's in here, check out their channels for sure. Yeah, walking in snow. Ouch. No thanks. Walking in the snow is a rush. Do it. One day I'll do the polar bear dip. Not sure if you have that around here, but go. Yeah. My friend tried to talk me into the polar bear dip about 10 years ago before I discovered the cold shocking thing, and I was like, you are out of your gourd. And him and his girlfriend came down and chopped a hole in the ice in the pond at the farm I lived at the other farm I lived at, and they did it. And I told them they were crazy, but I might be talked into it now with knowing more about the cold shock thing, but not a favorite. So tired of rain, you have no idea. We could use a little rain here. Send it this way, Mo Homesteading. We've had dry for like 2 or 3 weeks. Excuse me, the winter. There you go, Chris. Polar Bear Club. Yeah, Polar Bear Club. I think that's pretty much worldwide. Come in from walking in the snow, just a minute or two, and come in to rinse feet in hot water in the tub. Do your feet swell up when you do that, Bomber? Because I used to do that. I used to come in with my hands cold and I'd wash them under hot water, and they would swell up. They'd get like swollen. They'd feel like puffy, for lack of a better way to say it. Shrinkage. Nah, I ain't worried about shrinkage. Bounce right back. Lake Huron cold shock, hot sand beach hot shock. That's perfect, Jim. All right there in the natural environment. That's even better. Oh, I'm not going to go into shrinkage. All right, Paranormal Portal is going to be starting, so I think I'm going to cut this stream before we get out of hand over here. And thank everyone for coming into the stream. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. He sent you 2.5 inches of rain. Well, I got to give him a call anyway, so maybe he'll send some rain via phone. For sure, Michelle. All right, thanks, guys. We got to get over to Paranormal Portal. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. Let's go support Brent's show. Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening. We'll see you next time. Sunday night, 9 p.m. The Farmacy Seeds Network. Sunday night, All Things Natural Net. We'll see you there. Okay, I will ask you again come Winter Bomb. Cheers, everyone. Big hugs. Love to everyone. Love you all. Thanks for coming in.